on, because obviously the new year gives us and fills us full of good intentions. The road to hell is not going to pave itself now, is it? Embarking on new things, giving up bad habits. Sometimes it could be something that happens to you, of course, at any time of the year that makes you think, perhaps I need a new chapter in my life. About 5 months ago, a keen Castle Combe Formula Ford racing driver thought that his career, and perhaps maybe even his life, was all over. A high-speed crash, a car flipped on its nose and an air ambulance later, and Steve Jensen lives to tell the tale and to get back behind the wheel. He's on the line now. Hello, Steve.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm extremely well. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for letting me on the radio this morning, and Happy New Year to you and your listeners.
Well, thank you very much indeed, and Happy New Year to you as well. The accident then itself, just explain what happened.
It was at Castle Combe, as you said, and it was around August time, and there was contact with another driver that sent me onto the grass, and the car kind of started bouncing along, probably about 100 miles per hour, and kind of pole vaulted on its nose and almost flipped and landed on would have landed on my head, but luckily landed back on the ground with all four wheels. But landed with such an impact that it kind of jarred my spine. And as you say, I had to be taken to hospital and x-rayed and examined for damage, but luckily I was okay. So just very sore for about 6 to 8 weeks.
How much time whilst it was going on did you have to be scared or consider what was happening to you?
Not long, to be honest. For about a split second, I thought this could be very, very bad. But then, whilst kind of thinking that you're trying at the same time as much as you can to try and control the car and see how much you can save from hitting into the wall or hitting into other drivers whilst there's this big spin going on. So you don't really have time to think about what's happening in that sense.
Right, so the idea that everything goes black and white in slow motion, is that true? Do you remember the experience, or was it over too quickly? I remember, like I said, just momentarily being in the air and thinking, wow, this is going to end badly, and I thought the car was going to flip over and land on my helmet. But luckily, when it went back down the other way, from that moment on, I don't really remember, once the car hit the ground, I don't really have any other memory apart from, I remember getting out of the car and running into the infield and kind of collapsing, and then I couldn't move at all. I was in so much pain that they had to kind of stretch me off. So, yeah. Right, so after a trip in the air ambulance and some treatment, at what point did you say to yourself, I need to get back in this car?
Well, I tried various different things. I tried going fishing for a while, I tried doing mountain biking, and none of them really kind of gave me the same adrenaline rush as racing does. So it's something that I've been doing since the age of 11, and I haven't actually been back in the car since yet, because testing is closed for the winter season, but opens again up in kind of March. So I've made the commitment now that I'm ready to get back in, and I'm back in training physically to get fit again so that I can start racing again in March.
How's your family reacted to that decision?
I think it's 50-50. I don't think my mum's ever that keen that I'm driving, because obviously motorsport is a dangerous thing. But as you know, probably my dad has been driving since a young man himself. So I think he understands that as a racing driver, you have accidents, but you don't really dwell on them. You just kind of have the accident, forget about it, and focus on winning again. That's kind of the main way to do it. And if you're not focused on winning, then you'll never be quick, really.
Nevertheless, there's got to be. I mean, have you seen Senna, by the way?
Yes, I have.
It's an extraordinary film, isn't it? And it is something that carries with it, of course, racing. Driving always carries with it a sense of risk. Is having the accident likely to affect your performance? Are you going to, because you clearly have to drive right at the edge, and there's always an element of chance involved in that?
I think if I thought it was going to affect my performance, I wouldn't bother racing again. So in my opinion, the accident is done, it's in the past, and I've forgotten about it. And it's one of those things, it could happen when you're walking to the shops, you could have an accident. So I just look at it as, it's something that happened on that day, it was unfortunate, it was pretty much out of my control. As I said, it was a contact with another driver, and I don't think it'll affect my performance personally. So
how does it work being out for so long and then coming back into it? Because Formula Ford is often a level of racing which requires sponsorship and funding and that kind of continuity.
Yes, I mean, it's something that we are looking for sponsorship this year for the 2012 season, because as I have been out since August, I would love to do a good testing regime at the start of 2012. So funding is always an issue, and we are looking for sponsors to kind of help us out so we can get back out there and really get up to speed. But I have no doubt that by the start of the season at Castle Combe, I'll be fully on the pace again.
You sound very confident. What team is it? I presume you can't call yourself Team Jensen. I understand that there's a motor manufacturer already of that name.
No, I race for a team called Kevin Mills Racing, and Kevin has been established at Castle Combe and many other circuits for several years and won multiple championships. So he's one of the best teams out there, driving in the Australian-built Spectrum Formula Ford.
Right, and when does the season start?
It starts on May Bank Holiday, Easter Bank Holiday weekend at Castle Combe.
OK, well, we'll stay in touch if we can, Steve.
OK, super.
Because with a name like Jensen, you were never going to be anything else, were you?
Oh, well, I hope so. And to win. That's the idea.
We'll stay in touch if we may, and perhaps be there when you get back into the car as well, in anger. But we are well done for making the resolution to get back in, and I'm sure your mum's fears, well, you're never going to stop your mother completely worrying, are you?
No, probably not.
Steve, thanks very much indeed.
OK, thank you.
There's Steve Jensen there, ready to get back behind the wheel after a very serious accident at Castle Combe. He's going to get back in and do it again, and we shall follow his interest with progress, or indeed his progress with interest.